All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're diving deep into the Dubai off-plan property market. But listen, this isn't just another guide on buying apartments. The goal here is to completely shift your mindset, to turn you from just another buyer into a strategic wealth architect. So let's get into it. Our guide on this is Dr. Puyan Gamari, and he puts it perfectly. We need to treat Dubai's off-plan real estate market like a chessboard, not a casino. And honestly, that one sentence is everything we're about today. We're moving away from gambling on hype and learning how to invest with a calculated, winning strategy. So what's the real difference here? Well, you've got two kinds of people in this market. On one side, you have the casino player. You know the type. They chase the hype, follow the crowd, and get mesmerized by a glossy brochure. But on the other side, you've got the chess master. They play a different game. They rely on strategy, they analyze the big picture trends, and they live and breathe data. By the time we're done here, you're going to know exactly how to think like that chess master. All right, first up, let's talk about the Dubai real estate mirage and what developers might not be telling you. You have to think of developers as incredible storytellers. They sell a vision, and our job as smart investors is to look right through that story and see the facts behind it. And here's a story you've probably heard a million times. You see this beautiful brochure, right? And it's promising an incredible 40% appreciation by the time you get the keys. So you have to stop and ask yourself, is that even remotely realistic? And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the gap between that 40% marketing promise and the actual strategic reality. The marketing pitch conveniently ignores things like, market saturation or a flood of new supply hitting at the same time. The reality for a really well-selected project, it's more in that solid 15 to 25% range. Just knowing this one thing gives you a massive strategic edge. Let's pull the curtain back on a few other common narratives. Those investor-friendly payment plans? Let's be real. They're designed to de-risk the developer's cash flow. Prime locations? That term gets stretched pretty thin sometimes. You need to be looking at the actual city plans, not just the marketing map. And all those fancy amenities? They're not just luxuries. They are hardcore ROI tools that should directly boost your rental and resale value. So, with all these illusions and narratives, you might be thinking, why even bother? And that's a fair question. So let's get into our next section and see why, despite all the hype, Dubai is still an absolute goldmine if you understand the powerful forces shaping the market for 2025. And this number right here, this is the engine driving everything. 6 million. That's the population Dubai is expecting by 2030. Think about it, this huge wave of people coming in because of new visa rules and big companies moving their HQs, that creates a real, fundamental, and lasting demand for housing. But it's not just about more people. It's about what kind of housing they need. Take a look at the supply-demand gap. You've got massive demand for mid-market homes, but the supply? It just isn't there yet. Now, for a chess master, a gap like this isn't a problem. It's a giant flashing green light showing you exactly where the opportunity is. And while all this is happening, there is a quiet revolution going on behind the scenes. Cool tech like blockchain, fractional ownership, and AI are making the entire market way more transparent and open to everyone. It's basically leveling the playing field and giving smart investors some incredible new tools to work with. Which brings us right to the heart of this whole thing, your 4-phase winning strategy. This is the playbook. This is what separates smart, systematic wealth creation from just, speculating and hoping for the best. Let's break it down. See, a winning system has these 4 clear phases. You have to start broad with market intelligence just to understand the big picture. Then you zoom in with developer due diligence to make sure you're picking the right partner. After that, it's all about nailing your entry timing to maximize your returns. And this is so important, it all hangs on having a crystal clear exit strategy before you put a single dollar down. Walking through these steps, in order, is what turns a gamble into a strategy. So for step 1, market intelligence, the trick is to look beyond the building itself. Are you digging into the latest visa policies? Are you tracking where the new metro lines are going? Are you watching which nationalities are buying? These big picture factors can make one project outperform another by 30 or even 40%. And once you've found a great area, step 2, developer due diligence, is all about picking a great partner. You've got to check their track record, their finances, and most importantly, do they actually deliver on time and on quality? Because a great spot with a bad developer is just a trap waiting to happen. So you've done your homework on the market and the developer. Now we get to a huge wealth multiplier, entry timing. Your goal is to get in during that first 20% of a launch cycle, way before all the future value gets priced in. This means getting that private, pre-launch access where you can lock in units with a potential 5 to 15% discount. That's a huge win from day one. And please, remember this. This is a rule every chess master lives by. Your exit strategy is not the final step. It is something you have to define before you even think about signing a contract. Are you going to flip it for a quick profit or hold it for long-term rental income? That one decision changes everything about the deal you're looking for. Okay, so you've got the foundational strategy down. Now let's unlock some of those hidden returns. Let's talk about the pro-level moves that, frankly, most average buyers completely miss out on. So it's not just about the property value going up. There are all these other layers of return. You've got things like currency arbitrage if the local currency gets stronger. There's the huge indirect value of getting a golden visa. New platforms allow for fractional resale, which gives you a way to get cash out before the project is even finished. And we're seeing that properties in smart, connected communities can get you an extra 1 to 2% in rent. All these little streams add up to a river of returns. And you have to understand developer psychology. When they say limited units remaining, that's creating scarcity pressure. When they announce a project sold out in 48 hours, that's social proof. When you can recognize these tactics for what they are, just tools of persuasion, it allows you to stay calm and negotiate from a position of strength, not emotion. Okay, so with all this strategy in mind, where is the smart money actually going? Let's get specific. It's time to look at the micro markets to watch in 2025, because the real wins aren't citywide anymore. They're hiding in these emerging pockets. Here are 3 key areas to keep an eye on. First, JVC. It's a hotspot for investors focused on high rental yields, aiming for that 7 to 9% range, all driven by a huge influx of new residents. Then you've got Dubai South. That's more of a long-term play, riding the wave of the Expo legacy and its massive logistics hub. And finally, places like Business Bay and Creek Harbor, well, they're not making any more land there, which makes them prime targets for investors focused purely on appreciation. So as we wrap this up, let's go back to where we started. Remember, Dubai's off-plan property market in 2025 is not a lottery, it's a system. True success here isn't about getting lucky, it's about understanding the system and executing a proven strategy step by step. And here is the single biggest takeaway. This market is growing up. It's maturing into a real global asset class, and that's attracting the big money institutional investors. What that means for us is that the window for those easy speculative wins, well, it's closing. From now on, precision, data, and strategy are the name of the game. Which leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. As you look at this market and plan your next move, are you just trying to build a property portfolio, or are you consciously engineering your own financial freedom? The choice, and now the strategy, is yours.